Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Dr. Bob McKee here. You can see I've got my 8-month-old grandson visiting, Oliver. We watch him a lot of times during the days. Okay, so welcome to week 3. That means we're 3 weeks away from the midterm exam, so you don't need to worry about that. That's week 6, and when we get closer, we'll start talking about it. But for now, welcome to week 3. I wanted to cover a couple of terms today that you may or may not be real familiar with, and that is intersectionality and, of course, the Noel hypothesis. So let's start with intersectionality and what that means. I want to read to you exactly from the textbook, and then I'll hopefully provide an explanation for you that'll help. So intersectionality, again, it's a theoretical perspective. So like any theoretical perspective, it's not fact. It's concept, it's a theory. It plays out pretty well in society, but it is just that, it's a theory. Okay, it's a theoretical perspective in sociology that stresses the cross-cutting, the linked nature of inequality and the multiplicity of statuses that all people occupy. So what are they talking about there? Well, all of us have occupied different statuses based on our race, our gender, our age, our social class, our ethnicity, our religion, where we are in mainstream society in terms of wealth, power, and status. Okay, so you can see where this goes. It's in line, if you will, with conflict perspective in some ways, but the other perspectives fit well too. But it's the idea that there are inequalities in society, and those inequalities come from the fact that you may or may not be the right, if you will, race, age, gender, all of the different statuses that we hold. Okay, so that said, intersectionality is the idea that when you cross them, for example, you're a wealthy white male, does that mean you have more, obviously more wealth, you have more power and status in society than, say, a black female living in poverty, or and you see the intersection there of race, gender, and social class, and perhaps age too, if you add age to that. You know, an elderly black female living in poverty, right? How much power, wealth, status does that person have? And that, of course, affects our life chances. All right, so that's intersectionality. That's that concept. All right, so how does that play into the Noel hypothesis? Well, intersectionality then, in that case, right, you're being asked to analyze, using the Noel hypothesis, this notion of how intersectionality fits in. So let me read next to you then about the Noel hypothesis. All right, so what does the textbook say there? All right, so it is, again, a theory which stresses the creation of minority groups, right, that asserts that if 2 or more groups come together in a contact situation characterized by ethnocentrism, remember that term, the idea that our ethnicity, our values, our religion, our way of life is better than anybody else's, okay? Competition and a differential in power, some form of racial or ethnic stratification will result. So yeah, if you have 2 different racial/ethnic groups coming together, right, in a contact situation where one group has more wealth, power, and status, you're going to create levels in society. You're going to have the wealthy, the powerful. You're going to have the different social classes, right? Middle class, lower middle class, lower class, poverty, below the poverty level, homeless, right? All the way up to the wealthiest, 1/10 of 1% in the world. You can see what Oliver thinks of my lecture. Anyway, so that's the idea behind the Noel hypothesis. And again, you just need to look to society, and you can see how that has played out in many different ways, where Africans were brought to the America by force, right? And the differential in power there, and how that has resulted through generations into how black females were able to come together in terms of social action in West Las Vegas. Okay, that's it. I didn't go over my 5 minutes. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.